I'm gonna make this video real quick, just to show you all that I don't recommend using an air cooler, especially for gaming. If you're gonna run a hot chip, a processor, CPU, and I'm working here with right now is a 9590, and I just replaced it with my 8370 because I want to see how good this 9590 is, and I want to test the limit right now with a air cooler. But I'm going to show you a little test here why I definitely don't recommend using this if you're going to be gaming or doing heavy intensive programming or heavy use or heavy loads or whatever you name it on a big TDP CPU. This is actually a 220 TDP watt 220 watt TDP CPU. But literally on CPU-Z, it only shows up as 219 something, but still is a 220 TDP watt CPU. And you should definitely keep cautious of that, or caution of that. So I'm gonna run a little couple tests here and show you why I don't recommend. No, I did all that nonsense. You go in your power setting, you lower your maximum processor or whatever nonsense down from 100 to 99. I did all that. It don't really work when you come to a CPU that is a power hungry or a high TDP. And AMD is known for their TDP CPUs that are high. If you're going to get anything that's a FX 8-core series, I've had the AMD FX 8300, moved on to the 8350, never touched the 8220 or 8220. I had then tried the 8350 and then went to 8370, and I want to see what's good with this one. And I do got an air cooler right now in here. I'm going to show you why I don't recommend using an air cooler on a high TDP CPU. And I'm rolling here with a Thermaltake Typhoon, big Typhoon VX. It's I think the update version. You can fix the fan to make the fan go louder or whatever. I don't know. But I'm gonna show you why I don't recommend using air coolers. I don't care if there's any ones out there that's like the Cooler Master V8 or something like that. I don't care. There's ones out there that recommend TDP of 300. No air cooler is really gonna make you happy with the CPU, especially if you're going to be gaming. You're going to put a lot of heavy load or whatever games. And it's all a lie when people tell you, oh, games are not CPU bound or intensive. It's mostly for your GPU. That's bullshit. It's both, bit of both. You got to take caution of that. I mean, I've been gaming for a long time. I've been done a lot of PC builds, you name it, been through it all. Check my whole channel of all my history of all my PC builds from 1080, then 1080 Ti, and then back from the 980 Ti. From my Intel builds, Skylake, Kaby Lake, you name it. Alright, I'm going to put a little test in right here. Show you why I don't recommend air coolers. Or this air cooler here, the Thermaltake. I do got a water cooling and AIO coming in tomorrow, so I'm gonna try that out. And I do recommend AIOs, especially for high TDP or power hungry CPUs, and especially the one that we have right here. I'm gonna show you a little testing why I don't recommend using air coolers. I don't care what air cooler you think that could probably keep it cooled or whatever tweak you can do. I don't recommend. We're going to use core temp. Now the TJ Maxx is at 70 So you're going to see this CPU just jack up like crazy when I put just through a stress test from CPU-Z. I tried all that settings, the lower your maximum processor and all that nonsense, and the power settings. That don't work for a power-hungry high TDP CPU. So don't listen to people. They're going to teach you how to keep your CPU from not overheating. That's not going to help really, unless you have like a lower model like the FX 6300, maybe the 8300, maybe. But if you're going to rock with anything that's a TDP of 120, 5 or whatever, or higher, I recommend water cooling. Alright, so let's go do the stress test here. I don't have anything overclock. I don't care about the whole motherboard and overclock nonsense on my ASRock 970 3.1. I don't care about all that nonsense. I do have my turbo, AMD turbo, whatever, turned off, so I don't care about that nonsense either. I'll do all that later when I get my water cooling and test all that out too. But yeah, I did overclock on my 8370. I should have done a video, but I just didn't win the lotto, silicone lottery, and with that CPU, I couldn't get to overclock past 4 with this stupid air cooler. It wouldn't work good with that CPU. It really just was the CPU. It just didn't. I don't have the silicone lottery they call it, or I didn't get lucky with my 8370. All right, so we're gonna do the stress. You're gonna see this CPU temp just jack up, and it's not even heavy gaming or whatever. We're just stressing off CPU-Z. This is why I don't recommend using air coolers with high TDP CPUs. Because we're already getting up to 50, and it's going to head up to almost 70. When I see 69, I just end it. I'm not even putting any stress by any programs or gaming or anything. I mean, you could have been gaming and you wouldn't even know it, and it's just sitting here around 69, 70 and up. And you're sitting there using the air cooler or the stock cooler, which I never recommend. Trash your stock air coolers. But I do give it props. It's keeping a power-hungry high TDP CPU under 100. I give it props for that. But if I'm gaming or whatever, I'm not taking that risk. And I'm making this video to let everyone know. Just be careful with air coolers if you're going to use them on high TDP CPUs. Go AIO or custom. But yeah. Intel was hovering over 70 of the TJ Maxx. Let's go check real temp. Not real temp, because that's where I'm using right now. Let's use the other Cupid, whatever it's called. Let me just stop that stress. Okay, let's close that back down. Just minimize this window here. Okay, so yeah, as we're not stressing, it's just gonna sit down low when you're not doing no stressing or gaming or whatever. But when you go into heavy stuff or whatever, stressing or whatever, yeah, it gets up there. And that's why I don't recommend air coolers or those stock coolers, or I recommend any like AIO or liquid cooler device put on a high TDP CPU. And words just can't describe. Alright, let's do that stress test right now. Yeah, we're heading over almost to 70 again. And this is not even gaming, and that's why I recommend don't using air coolers like my thermal Big Typhoon or any when you're gonna have a high TDP or power hungry CPU. I mean, this can go for also Intel. And I do got that Beast ASRock 970 G3.1 Beast motherboard, and it does handle 220 TDP CPU. It's pretty good, especially with this air cooler. I have my top off my PM Silverstone PM01 case because I'm gonna put an air cooler. I'm gonna take my air cooler out. I'm gonna put my water cooler in there and figure out which way I want to put it. But yeah, you'll see me do some videos on that water cooler coming tomorrow. It's not a custom; it's just a pre-built one. But I've had a Corsair one back in the day. Check out all my other videos in the past. I've done of AMD where I'd overclocked up to 5 gigahertz. But words can't describe. Sorry if I'm just jabbering. I'm just making y'all understand that be careful of air coolers, especially when gaming or whatever. Always use AIOs when you got high TDP or power hungry CPU, especially like the FX 9550 or the 9370 or definitely a 8370. Don't really go with air coolers because they'll just jump up on nowhere with the heat. We've been stressing this for a while. Y'all have a good one.